Hey guys, Nandra here. Welcome to another video. This video is going to be on anti-fortress sword. Now, if you watch my last intro to building sword, you'll know that like I kind of categorized the control sword variants into being one of two types, using references from that of Fate's Stay Night and that of the Noble Phantasms. Now you have the anti-army, which is ones that have a lot of anti-aggro, they have a lot of like board busting tools. They have the anti-fortress. Now the anti-fortress, in my opinion, it's these stuff like Tsubaki, like Young Ogre Hunter Momo, like White Witch Swordsman, that like they deal well in going wide situations. Just because like imagine if you're in a fortress, you're not gonna fight like an entire army all at once. No, you're gonna fight like mini bosses one by one. And that's what that deck strategy. So I'm gonna show you guys a deck list. This is what I came up with. I will have an intro to building this, where I'll just like show you guys what went through my mind when I built it from scratch. This is my list. Now, uh, again, not really gonna talk about that much. Just again, this is my list, and I'll go and show you guys what went into it when I go into intro to building. Now, I'm going to show you guys the replays. So I played 4 games, I believe. Yeah, I only lost 1 game, and in the game I lost to Bloodcraft, and it was one of those I lost because like he okay. So I had like double Monica in hand, and I knew exactly what he wanted to do, and I basically just had to. And I'd already seen one spiderweb in, so I was literally just hoping that okay, well he runs a lot of one drops that he shouldn't be running if he's playing Air Jammer. Like for example, he was running like Ambling Wraith. I knew he also has stuff like Blood Wolves and whatnot. So like it was one of those like if he pulled anything else other than double Spiderweb Imp, I won just because I'd be able to go double Monica, and then after that I'd be able to just like one, yeah, I'd be able to just like one for one the entire board without needing to use an Evo. So that way I just Albert him on 10. However, he pulled that double Spiderweb Imp, and I can deal with it like just because double Spiderweb Imp is like how much is that? It's a 512, I believe it is. Before Evos, yeah, a 512 before Evos is stats, and then and then fucking 714 after Evo. So I'm gonna show you guys the first game. This game is gonna be versus PTP Forest. Yeah, PTP Forest is one of those kind of like um boogeyman type. Well, not quite boogeyman, but pretty close. And that if you don't really see it that much on ladder, and anytime you do, you're usually kind of like unprepared to deal with it, like either mentally or physically, because not every deck is playing Amulet Destruction. Not every deck is playing Bahamut. And Swordcraft especially, yes, they do not have like anti amulet effects in that of Axestrader, but I don't think you really want to play Axestrader just because you really want your Evos to go on other things. So here he plays with the Fairy Circle. Now, when he played with the Fairy Circle, I'm now just thinking, okay, he's either aggro or he's PTP. There's literally never an in between. When he plays with the Woodland of Brambles, I now know in my heart, okay, he's PTP. So because he's CCP, I need to go really fast. I also need to try to find my Albert. Now because this list does not play made leaders, I have to physically draw into these Alberts. And that's gonna be kind of rough, just because like made leader isn't really a card. Well, it is still a really really good card. But here my opponent makes a misplay. All right, the reason why this is a misplay is because you know for a fact that I held one card in my hand, and most likely it was probably not this two drop, and that most likely what I'm going to want to play here in order to preserve my bladed hedgehog and get a value trade is going to be Geno. So I go ahead and Geno you here, and then it's suddenly going into your turn, and now you if you kept the mayo, you would have a 100% chance of just evolve a fairy, which I know you have extras of in your hand because I know for a fact you have 4 in your hand, and then you can just evo the fairy over the bladed hedgehog. Uh, the, the the fairy would be at I think 1 HP, something like that. Yeah, and then you can just like go May on the Geno, and then suddenly, oh look at that, sword doesn't have a board. Sword doesn't have a board. You're at 20. You're in a pretty good shape, especially as PTP. But anyway, So I make the general play, Hedgehog goes face. And again, you see how what I'm saying comes into play here, because suddenly my opponent is now going to be taking 4 damage to the dome. That's not a good look. So here I just go Monica. I go Monica over, say, Lumage, just because like the Lumage already like fully dies on board, and I don't want that to happen. I really don't. It's really important that that I clear up as much of his board as possible, just because like I want the Jenna to be here like for a while to punish him for using up that May. However, he does have Will of Force stabilized. However, look at his HP. He's now almost into Albert range. As long as I can make it to this turn 9, keep an Evo, he's gonna die. Well, sorry. As long as I can make it to turn 9, keep an Evo, and find the Albert, he's gonna die. So to that end, we're gonna try to dig for Albert. Now, because as you know, this deck does not play Lumage. The only draw, sorry, not Lumage. It doesn't play Maid Leader. The only draw card we have is Conscription. So I'm gonna need to Conscription here. The reason why is because like this board, whatever's on my board, it doesn't really matter that much. Just because like he has so many anti-aggro tools in his deck that he's gonna be able to clear. He's gonna be able to clear no matter what board I throw at him. And especially because I'm Sword, and Sword only usually throws out 1 to 2 creatures per turn, usually about 3 at max. So I'm just gonna go Amelia. So that way I have Commander. So that way I have Commander in play. Into Conscription. And again, it doesn't really matter what cards it gets me. Preferably I would like for it to get me rush cards, just because that way I can go ahead and I can hold on to this Evo for dear life. But again, it doesn't really matter in the long run exactly what it gets me. I just need to be digging for this Albert. I still have double Lumimage that I have yet to play. I already have the one in hand, so I'm most likely not gonna need to Evo, or I'm most likely not gonna need to use his Evo point. He does use the Altered Fate, which I expected, because again I already knew he was PTP, so I need to hope that he had to pitch away a PTP in that hand. Part of why PTP is so okay. Part of why PTP is so strong is because when they go with the Altered Fate, because you can't physically look at their graveyard, you will not know what they discarded at all, unless you just have like Omni Vision, or unless like you're like in a perfect match and they tell you or something like that. And so as a result, you never really know exactly what you need to play around, just because like they have multi different, they have several different warning conditions. They have stuff like the standard Roach plan. They have the PTP. Now they have Jungle Wardens, and there's a lot of bullshit that you got to just kind of like go through. And so as a result, like the only things that I'm gonna be trying to play around in this game is going to be the Roach and the PTP. Maybe the Jungle Warden, but I can't say for sure. But anyway, so here with this clear, I now get to field 3 creatures. And the best part is that he's already used 1 Will of the Force. He most likely is only playing 2 at most, and he most likely had to pitch away the second one. So now I have 3 creatures just chilling on the board. He can only get rid of 2 at max, most likely. Additionally, I have double Enhanced Geno in my hand. This is nice because he's already shown that he's having difficulty dealing with tokens. And here, he made a really good play because he was able to like evolve his. He was able to make a board. And his boards also have full HP, so I can't just like pick it off with the token. But this is fine. This is fine because I have double enhanced Geno in my hand. The double enhanced Geno is going to get me all the tokens I need in order to push him down to 10. When he drops them to 10, it's basically just a matter of finding Albert before he can find maybe say an Aaron or something like that in order to stabilize. So he goes Sylvan Justice. That's fine. It's basically just all about dodging these heals. Like, he needs to not Aaron. Like the only wards that he plays is jungle wards and then say ancient elves. But the ancient elves, he's not gonna be able to evolve them. So I'm gonna be able to get through each and every one because he knows full well that if he tries to make a bigger one, that what's gonna happen is that I'm just gonna Tsubaki it or something like that because he should know at this point about control sword. So I do draw the Albert. So now it's basically just like, can he find another ward to save his life? He needs to be able to find Aaron. He needs to be able to find Jungle Warden. If he can't find those, he dies. He's also really, really close to activating his PTP. He's at 25 shadows, or almost 25 shadows. And he goes hard here with the clear, and he does get it all the way, but their damage was already done. You see now how him taking that 4 damage on 4 is actually what literally killed him. If he had played perfectly there, would not have died. Well, I mean, there was a chance he could have, but like I was gonna need to have double Albert because again, my sword decks they usually don't have that much smork in them. So this game is going to be versus Runecraft. Alright, so I usually tell you guys that, oh, why Mulligan thinking it was D-Ship, well, this is finally the D-Ship game. So I'm going second, which is actually better for me. The reason why this is better for me is because Runecraft as a whole, they actually like to go second, or rather, win rate analysis would suggest that they want to go second because they have a much higher win rate when they go second versus when they go first. Now my opponent kept he only redrew 1 card, so it's kind of weird here what was going on because like I'm not like I think he kept double D shift in his hand and is getting punished for it because like he doesn't play anything for the first like 4 or 5 turns. So here, I'm just going to temper out the Grimnir. Because Grimnir no longer does face damage, in this deck, you can usually use it as a template play, you can use it as a ward in a pinch, and you can also use it as a board clear. It's still very, very flexible. He goes Kaleido. He goes Levi Kaleido. So I know he's going to Levi me next turn. So because I know that, I have to Evo this Grimnir. I would like to save Evos for Albert, but you don't get that option. Versus D-Ship. Versus D-Ship, you have to go as fast as possible, as early as possible. Just because by the time I get to turn 9, that's already going to be 1 turn. It's already going to be at least two to 3 turns over his estimated kill time versus me. So here, I'm basically just praying, okay, don't have Magic Missile. If you don't have Magic Missile, I'm probably going to win this game. He doesn't have Magic Missile. Instead, he plays that second Levi for, I don't know. Like, I was just mind-boggled by what my opponent said to keep in his hand. So here, I just got to involve the Lumi Mage. Now, there is merit to me, evolving my Luminous Knight and sacking it into the Levi. The reason why is because like you know that they usually play triple kaleidoscope, and you want to leave as few kaleidoscopic glow targets as possible, just so that way it kind of sits in their hand as like a brick. However, because he's about to drop down to 12, I need to make as ridiculous a board as possible. The reason why is because if he has third Levi from how casually he just kind of dropped down the second Levi, then he'll be able to full clear my board if I don't do this. Additionally, if either of these survives, I can do a lot of damage to him. However, he apparently has the Merlin instead, and it's apparently just Brick City because he got greedy and kept double D shift versus sword. Versus sword, usually I need like 1. So now, if I want to, I can drop my opponent down to 3. But he doesn't give me the chance because he just concedes because he knows that he's eating way too much damage. And that game really just came out to my opponent just, making a really, really greedy mulligan and getting punished for it. So I was happy about that. Just a little bit of justice. All right, so again, I'm assuming that this is D shift just because I just queued into a D shift. I also wasn't paying attention to my opponent's to what the name of my opponent last was. So as a result, I'm just gonna assume that's D shift, and I'm just gonna full keep everything. If it is something aggressive, like say neutral rune, that's fine too because the hand works for that as well. So there's merit to me playing out the bladed hedgehog. However, I don't remember if neutral rune plays magic missile, because if they do play magic missile, or if he does have say angelic knight or aesthetic knight, or not aesthetic knight, the sorry angel at the word or angelic knight, then I get blown back here because I will not get a full clear, and he'll be able to make a value trade into my hedgehog. So because I know there's some kind of like aggressive strategy, I'm gonna try to save my hedgehogs to like say turn 4 or later. So here he plays up the Levi here. I don't agree with playing up the well. I don't really agree with playing up the Levi here unless you have like second Levi or something. Like I understood why he did it. I just don't like it. So here, he just demonic strikes my face, and this is my tell that his hand is incredibly bad. So as a result, because I'm trying to play around second Levi, because he just kind of casually tossed up the first one, I'm going to evolve my Bladed Hedgehog here. The Bladed Hedgehog is more important to keep alive, more so than the 2-2 ward. This is because Bladed Hedgehog has a lot of HP. However, he does have a Dance of Death. The Dance of Death is honestly perfectly fine because, like, I still have the initiative here. I have the initiative, and on top of that, even if he is say even if he does say have some like dirt components in his deck, he doesn't have sigils in play. Does that I don't have to be afraid. The best thing he could do here is play Munich against Bolt. But if he plays up Bolt, I'm just gonna race him. Like I don't care. However, instead he has out Lyriel. Now here, I was super confused for a second because I was like, why did you ping this? And I was like, oh no, Piercing Rune, fuck. So he does Piercing Rune and he does trade, but this is fine. The reason why this is fine is because I can now Conscription if I want to draw cards. I also have a billion cards. My opponent's like no cards. So because I have twice as many cards as my opponent, I can now make greedier plays. Additionally, I have 2 Evas left. He's about to have to use his last one. So here he plays Wizard of Oz. Now the Wizard of Oz could be scary here because if he draws burn stuff, I'll be in trouble. However, he does not. He draws neutrals. Yeah, feels great, man. And now he's just gonna like evolve into my all right. So he evolves into my Luminous Knight, which I don't really agree with because like the reason why I don't agree with this play is because like I only did that commander thing to you once. Most likely, if I, there's almost no way that I do it again. Like, and even if I do it again, that doesn't matter. What does matter is that you're about to take 4 damage, and I'm about to like equalize this game up right now. Just because like there are so many things that kind of like mess him up for having done that. Like for example, if I have Tsubaki, oh hey, look at that, I possess the board. If I have young ogre hunter Momo, which I do have in my hand right now, I yet again now possess this board. So I really would have liked for my opponent to just have removed as much just have removed as much power as possible because like with the Luminite's effect, like that requires for me to have multiple creatures in play that are like untapped and can like attack your face, and that's not gonna happen. I don't know. And I'm most likely not going to try to race you with the effect either. So here, just go up Bladed Hedgehog. It's important to go up Bladed Hedgehog first into the whole Tilt Link, so that way you can have your Hedgehog start acquiring procs as fast as possible into young Ogre Hunter Momo. I'm gonna evolve the Knight. I evolved the Knight so I can have a diversified board and also to protect this Geno. So now my opponent needs to have Mutagenic Bolt. However, if he plays with Mutagenic Bolt, he can't play anything else that turn. He's now losing the space race. However, he does have Felice. The Felice is actually really nice here for him because like he can now like sure the Felice will be dead on board. However, he still preserves. He still stays above the 10 HP threshold, and that's usually that'll be fine for him right now because like I did use up a lot of cards to make that clear happen, so he's kind of able to like kind of stabilize a little bit. Now he's only behind by 1 card instead of being behind by like 3 cards. However, he has a mutagenic bolt here, but that's really bad because Look at his HP. Look at my HP. I can race him. He's also just dead to Albert, but that's, hey, that's a whole nother story. Yeah, usually I usually kind of fuck up the animations, and I usually don't get to saber strike them and kill them before they can concede. I did actually manage to do it in the game, but yeah, it was unfortunate. So for him, the majority of that game just came down to he didn't find spells off of that Oz for 3. If he had found spells off of that, he would have been able to stay in the game a little bit longer, but he did not. So that in fact cost him a little bit. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the intro to building deck. The intro to building video should be up soon, later today. I don't know when I'm gonna get to it. I just yeah. I do still need to play story and get all those story rewards because yeah, is a boob sleeves. I'm hype. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think about Control Sword and the meta right now. And yeah, I'll catch you guys later. See ya.